Hello, everybody. This is Tannen and Olivia from Retreat Guru.
Okay.
And today we're going to be doing the live, or for you, it's going to be the replay of the live Mastering the Power of Scheduled Emails webinar.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics related to using the email functionality in Retreat Guru and how to set up automated emails to maintain a personal connection with your guests, but also to save you a bunch of time. So we're going to talk about how to create personalized email templates for your guests, ones that you can send before the retreat and after retreat. We're going to talk about how you can kind of customize those for different types of retreats or programs that you have. We're going to talk about how to test emails and make sure they look good before they go out for real. And we're going to talk about how you can track what emails have been sent and sending bulk emails that are unscheduled. We'll also throw in some advanced tips as well, so stay tuned.
Lots of good stuff. So we'll see you in there.
Here we go. So we're going to get started with how to set up email templates in Retreat Guru. So we're going to head over to our settings, Reg settings, and then we're going to look under the email tab. So this section of Retreat Guru is all about setting up email templates. We want to make your lives easier so you're not like sending out individual emails to anybody or trying to remember what day to send emails to remind people of things ahead of their retreat. So this is the first step to setting all of that up. We'll go over some of the pre-templated emails here, and then we'll go over how to make your own additional templates for all sorts of different purposes. So just right at the top here is the registrar's email. So in case you're not familiar, if you want to get an email confirmation every time somebody registers for one of your retreats, this is where you would put your or somebody at your retreat center's email, or multiple people if you want. If you want to get a copy of like every email that you ever send to anybody from Retreat Guru, then you check off this little box here. So the first email we'll go over is the registration notification. So this gets sent to everyone that registers for a retreat, and there is a template here that we've pre-populated in Retreat Guru for every customer, but you can adjust it. Good to note too that the from settings here apply to all of your emails. This just allows you to say in the email that gets sent out, like what email address and what are the names of the people that it's coming from. So that's how it'll show up in your guest's inbox, like from Olivia and Tannen.
And if you'd like to change that, you can actually edit that per program. While you're in the program, you can change the contact person, the contact email. So this is like the global standard from email and name that all your guests are going to receive. But you can change that per program if you'd like to.
Yeah, that's good to point out. So this page we're looking at now are the global settings, and then for every retreat or every program you set up, Tannen will show us that some more later, but you can customize things per program as well. So this is the kind of content section, the subject and actual body of the email. This is a pre-templated one, but you can add like anything you want in it. We'll point out a few things. So the first is these little curlicues. You'll see a few of them through the email here. And we call these template codes. So this allows personalization of your emails. So in this case, in the email that gets sent out to me, if I registered, it would say, Dear Olivia, and to Tannen, it would say, Dear Tannen. So the list of template codes is always available under each email in Retreat Guru while you're creating them. There's a big long list here, and we'll maybe point out some of our favorites or the ones that we find retreat centers think are most useful. Obviously, name is a really great way to, like, instead of like, hi person, like, hi,
hello guest.
Hello guest. That's very obvious. Program name and stay dates, also pretty popular. So you can let your guests know in the emails that you send them, you know, when they're going to be showing up and when they're going to be leaving and what they're actually showing up for. So that's pretty obvious too. The more logistical ones kind of are down here, which are great too. So like the guest statement, the guest payment link, and the guest edit link are all super helpful to include. So I'll just highlight these here. So the guest statement will show up in the email body itself and kind of have a tally, a listing of like what they signed up for, what the retreat cost, what the massage add-on was, what the taxes were and the total, what they paid. The guest payment link is a little hyperlink that if the guest clicks on it, it'll take them to another page where they can see their guest statement, and they can also enter in their credit card information to pay. Whereas the guest edit link is kind of more related to the registration details. So the registration details is just a full list of all the questions from your registration form, and then all the answers that the guest put in when they were registering for a retreat. And the guest edit link, again, is like just a little hyperlink that allows the guest to click on it and update anything as they want to. So if one of your questions asks about their flight arrival info and they didn't have it when they registered, they could click the guest edit link and then add that flight information at a later date.
So it just saves a lot of back and forth dialogue, so they can have access to updating their registration on the fly. So you guys don't have to go in there and manually do it yourself. So it can be really, really helpful in that way.
Yeah. And then I'll just call it the last one, the balance due. This is really helpful in lots of ways. So this is what the guests owe you. So that's a good one for payment reminders. Like, hi, Olivia, you owe us $800. Please pay us before you come to your retreat. So that's template codes.
Template codes are definitely your friend when it comes to emails.
They are your friend, yeah. The second part down here I'll add info about is attachments. So this is the kind of attachments short code. So wherever you place this in your email, your attachments will show up there. This is really helpful for pre-arrival emails where maybe you have documentation that you want to share with your guests, like a map of how to get there, or like a checklist of things to bring, or even like a reading that they should be doing before a teacher training or a retreat or something like that. So you can hit the Add Attachments button and upload a variety of file formats. We would suggest a PDF file, so you can just select that file or drag it from your desktop. We've got a few things here already. This is where your media library will be, where the attachments kind of live. And we have one here already. It's a PDF. It says, welcome to yoga teacher training. What did we want to note here? Okay, so a few things about the attachments. These are attachment links. So when the guest clicks on it, they'll be directed to a URL to view the whole PDF. So if they aren't on the internet, they won't obviously be able to see that link load. And there's something else too. I think that's it, maybe.
That's the most important one.
Okay, so we'll include this attachment on the email. So now you can see it's showing up here. Yeah, so, okay. That is email attachments as well. Maybe we'll move down to some other pre-populated email templates in Retreat Guru. So the next one is all about post-departures. So,
and we're really excited about this one because this is a new one.
And like a million people asked for it, and Receptive requested this feature. It's like obviously really helpful, so we finally got around to doing it. By default, this will be disabled. We didn't want to just like turn it on and have everybody's retreats guests get emails after they leave. So if you don't have this on already, you can go to your reg settings and just click enabled for this feature. So this allows you to send emails to your guests after they leave. We found this was really valuable in two ways. One is just like a courtesy and a kindness of saying like, thank you for coming. We're so glad you were here. The second is kind of to get feedback from your guests, and also to kind of create some advocacy and get reviews so that you can encourage other guests to join you for future retreats at your retreat center. So in this pre-populated template that we have here, there's a template code that says share experience. So we've kind of taken the step, I guess, making it a little bit easier for you to automatically get that advocacy from your retreats and reviews and feedback. So if a guest clicks on that share experience link in the email, they'll be directed here to write a review
to the Retreat.Guru page.
Yeah, so for those that aren't familiar, Retreat Guru, we have this booking registration software, but we also have a retreat listing website. So like thousands of retreat centers have their retreats listed there, and we have tons of general public people looking for retreats that come to the site every day and can kind of browse through and try and find the right retreat for them. So kind of the more positive reviews you have on your retreat center, the more likely it is that someone would find your retreat center and what retreats you're running soon, just kind of like they would on TripAdvisor if you were a hotel or a restaurant or something. So this is just a sample one, living in the Self Retreat Center in Peterborough in Canada here. They have 6 reviews, and so if they had that link, share experience link, their guests would be directed here to write a review for them after their retreat. I think that's good. If you guys have any more questions or you're not familiar with Retreat.guru or how to get your retreat center, looking great there, please let us know afterwards. You can send Tannen a note to at support@retreat.guru. But that's how the share experience link works. But you're also welcome to, add your own link to a feedback survey that you might have or something like that as well. So, and you can add an attachment to any email, so that's included here as well. I'll just highlight really quickly some of the other existing pre-populated templates. So that includes payment notification, just letting every time somebody makes a payment. Ooh, I'm just noticing the chat now. Cool. I'm going to leave this open. I'm just half reading the chats here too. Payment notification email, a cancellation email, so if somebody cancels, they'll get this. If you have a wait list for a retreat and a spot opens up, you can send this pre-populated email to let people know there's a new spot available on a retreat. Multi-person email is sent if you allow somebody on your registration page to register on behalf of another person, like register together. The second person will get this email notifying them that somebody has registered them for a retreat, and gives them the guest edit link that we talked about, so they can update their personal information if their friend or partner or spouse or whoever registered them for the retreat, if they didn't have all those details. Another really important one is the guest payment request email. So it's really straightforward, just asking for a payment, but you can send these out at specific times if you have like the option of a payment plan. You can just trigger these emails to go at certain times to your guests, maybe a month before, 3 months before the retreat, to get them to pay their balance or whatever portion of the payment plan it is that they owe. And then here's the fun section, so the custom email templates. So this is where you would go to create like any additional email templates that you want aside from the pre-populated ones. So we've added one in here, but you can go and add another as well, and you can have as many additional email templates that you want. We found some useful ones to have our pre-arrival email templates, so sending out reminders ahead of people's retreats because they tend to register so far in advance. You want to keep them engaged and get the info that you need from them before they show up, and give them the information they need to come to your retreat and feel confident and successful. Also, really great to have maybe some like transportation related emails if you do airport pickups, kind of coordinating those automatically. And then if you use retreat programs, if for some other functionalities like to accept an application for a scholarship or to accept a gift certificate purchase or a donation campaign, you can have pre-templated emails to go along with those non-retreat kind of uses as well. So this is a template for a pre-arrival email that Tannen and I just kind of put together, reminding people, are they excited for their retreat? We just wanted to let you know that you're coming to whatever the program is, 10-day yoga retreat, for example, and it's coming up on these dates. You can include a few reminders of what to bring, and we're looking forward to seeing you. So yeah, so you can create as many of these as you need to, and you can create several if you want. A bit of an advanced tip I'll just mention here, if you guys want to look into it more, send us some questions after. All of these email template, so the body and the subject of all of these templates we've been going through, they are enabled to use HTML as well. So the default formatting is pretty generic. One, font color and size and stuff, and is pretty basic, but definitely gets the point across. If you want to format your emails,
jazz things up a little bit,
you can add HTML. We'll send out in the email after with this video maybe some links to some like basic HTML codes that don't know, but like if I wanted to make this statement bold, I would say strong, and then I would put another tag over here that says strong. And now in the email, this statement, a few reminders of what you'll need to bring, will show up in bold. So there's, you can use other ones for creating hyperlinks, different colors of text, headers,
underlining, italics.
Could do a lot of stuff. Also, to go along with that, the next section down here are the HTML email wrappers. So if you want, you or a developer at your center that you hire, if someone else is familiar with HTML, we can also they could create a header and a footer that would go, on top and below your email if you want to include any of your branding, logo, that kind of thing. So that's a bit of advanced use as well, but if you really want to make your emails fancy, this is the way to do it. And then we'll go down to, so MailChimp and Aweber. So another kind of advanced email tip is our integrations with other email providers. So Retreat Guru is great for sending out like logistical pieces of information, like reminders, keeping your guest engaged, but it's not typically designed to be like a marketing service the way that MailChimp would be, to send, emails on a regular basis to let people know about deals and all these kind of things. So if you also at your retreat center use MailChimp or Aweber or another service like that to send out more marketing emails to your mailing list, you can pull your retreat guests from Retreat Guru into MailChimp into a list, so they'll be there automatically. So if you insert your info on MailChimp in here or your Aweber info down here, then when a guest registers for your retreat, if they say, oh, I want to be part of your I want to be part of your email list, then their info, their name, and their email will get pulled automatically into one list for you in MailChimp. If you want to do something even like more advanced than that, and you want more of the guest's information, so pretty much anything that you ask on your registration form, like their gender, what city they're from, how they found you, what retreat they signed up for. If you want to pull those pieces of info into MailChimp or create multiple different lists based on those kind of factors in MailChimp, we can do that as well. That's through a kind of a more deep integration with a service called Zapier. So if that's something that sounds intriguing to you, you can let us know. Again, support@retreat.guru is probably the best place to go for that.
And one thing I'll mention with Zapier is it's relatively new. So what we're doing, the integrations with that, we're still in the process of working out some kinks, but we love having the opportunity to work with centers and setting up different Zapier integrations. So if there is an interest there for you, definitely let us know, and then we can discuss how we can look about setting that up for you.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So that is it for this main page. I'll save. I don't know if I made any changes, but important to remember that this Save Changes button is down here. In case you edit an email, you want to keep that saved. So that's the first step of setting up all these individual email templates. I'll hand it over. Tannen's going to talk about now the next step in the process is like activating those emails on a per program basis. So I'm handing over the mouse. Here we go.
Thank you. Passing the mouse. And one thing I'll speak to before I jump in here is I've just been noticing a few questions coming in, which is great. Really excited to see that.
Yeah.
And just another gentle encouragement to, if questions do come up as we do the presentation, drop them into the chat box, and at the end of this webinar session, or at the end of this presentation, we will answer as many as we can. So now we're going to jump into programs, and we're going to go into a program here, and we're going to get a chance to look at how we actually leverage all those email templates that we just set up. So if we go into our email tab here, we can see the email options in the registration email. So this is the very first email template that we looked at that Olivia showed everybody. This is the global default one that when anybody registers for any retreat, they're going to receive this standard registration notification email. There we go. And so if that's beautiful, that's wonderful. It keeps things very simple, very automated. If for some reason you would like to change that per program, we have that functionality as well. You can set it to send custom registration email, and then you can either build out your own custom registration email right here in the text box, or you can scroll down and you can insert an email template from any of those email templates that we built under reg.settings. And of course, you can add attachments, all the same functionality that we had with the reg.settings email templates you have in the program as well, including all those wonderful template codes. And then we're going to go down to pre-arrival emails. So this is a really really useful feature in, as Olivia mentioned, keeping engaged with your guests, your upcoming guests, keeping things top of mind for them, for anything they may need to bring, things you need to be aware of, travel information updates. So you can set that email to go out 21 days before. You could set it 7 days before. Of course, you want to have it enabled if you want that working. And again, you can go right in and you can drop in a template. So here we built a pre-arrival email template to make things really simple. And another thing you can do with this is you can actually have multiple pre-arrival emails. So say you want to have a reminder go out 21 days before, and you'd like a reminder to go out 14 days before. You have that capacity. Of course, there's a bit of a fine line. You don't want to be over-communicative. You don't want to be smothering your guests. But you do want to, it is helpful to keep that dialogue going and let them know that, that things are coming up. That could include, this is a bit of an advanced tip, but some of our clients, some of our retreat centers use this functionality as a payment plan. So you could set it up to have it go out every 15 days, every 2 weeks, every month even, leading up to the retreat. So if you offer a payment plan, you can then have an automated email that goes out to your guests saying, hey, hello, your payment is due for this week or this month and for this period. And then you can have a nice guest payment shortcode link dropped right in to the email, which we can see down here. And that'll give the guests the option to go in and make that payment for that payment plan. So that's one of those advanced tips that could be helpful for you if you've been thinking about doing payment plans. And we also have a more integrated payment plan functionality on our roadmap down the road. But for now, this could be a nice way of gaining that for you and your clients. So, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's good.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. And then, of course, we have, again, the post-departure email. So right now it's set to that global setting that Olivia showed everybody in the reg.settings. It's going to be sent out 3 days after the program ends. And if you would like, you could send a custom one. If you don't want there to be one at all for this particular program, you can set it to none. And if you do want to do a custom one, again, of course, you can set how many days it's going to go out after.
You could even set a few, like a year later, hey, it's been a year since you've been here. We miss you.
How are you feeling?
Or like 1 year anniversary of your teacher training or your first retreat or who knows. So
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, again, really super useful in that way and staying connected with all your retreatees. And again, it's pretty standard by now. You can always use those email templates and drop those in. And more or less, that's it for setting the email templates per program.
Yeah. Some testing.
What I would like to show you guys now is actually we're going to do a test registration. So this is a great way, once you've set up your emails.
You might want to test them and like actually take a look and see what they're going to look like when they get sent out.
Totally. Just to make sure that everything is looking the way you want it to look, that all the links are functioning properly. just to make that, just to be super sure and get that
Especially if you're
confirmation.
getting fancy with that HTML in the email, it's good to take a look at that
Definitely.
before you send them all out.
Right. So what I would suggest for doing email testing is to create a test program. And you can see that this is indeed the test program.
Email test program.
But you could go to your programs, add new, and just have that as a test program. And then what you're going to want to do if your site is live, which I'm imagining most of your sites are, is you can go into your payment for this test program and you can disable it, so you won't be required to enter a credit card when doing the test registration.
Yeah, and you probably want to remove it from the listings if that's not like removed from public listings.
Right.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, and you want to keep it removed from public listings.
That way it
too.
won't show up on your website if you're using our plugin.
Right.
Yeah.
Good tip. So,
Pro tip.
so once we've got those all set up, we have it ready to do some testing. We can go update. And then we're going to go and we're going to click on register as guest. And here we can see, all right, looks like we're going with the dorm. And we will add a couple optional items, test that out. And then we're going to fill in our testing information. Looks like Olivia is really excited to be going on this retreat. And we're going to scroll down here and click register now. You can see there's no option of paying because we disabled that. And wonderful. Looks like the registration went through. And then we are going to go into our registration here. And we can see that Olivia did indeed just register. We can click on that. And scrolling to the bottom, we can see this is going to be the same for every one of your guest registrations. You can see all the email messages that were sent to them here at the bottom. And we can take a look, and this is actually what the formatting is going to look like when they receive it in their inbox as well. Mm-hmm. Dear Olivia, thank you for registering for the test program.
You can see the hyperlinks there. Registration is in blue. So if you want to update your info, you can go here. That's the guest edit link.
Right. And then we have the registration details, short code, that's displaying all those registration details, all the answers to the registration questions. The guest statement, of course, with all those charges and payments, and the balance due, all really good stuff to be aware of. So yeah, everything is looking more or less pretty good. We can even see that attachment that we included in that registration notification email, that welcome to yoga teacher training attachment. So that looks beautiful. And if you would like to, if you want to be super, super, super thorough, you could always go into your email. So you could set this to go to your email inbox, and then you could go check on the email in your email inbox as well, just to see, okay, yeah, everything is lining up perfectly. But more or less, it's going to look exactly what it looks like here as it does when you receive it in the email inbox.
Yeah. And this is the way on this page you can keep track of every email that was sent to your guests. So this is just the test one, but if Olivia was a real guest, you could come in here and see that, you know, the registration confirmation email had been sent to her, and a few weeks later you would maybe see another one for a pre-arrival email, and then a post-departure email once she'd left after the retreat had ended. So that's all organized in this sent messages area of each guest's kind of individual profile.
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for testing emails. Now Olivia is going to show you guys how we can do bulk emails.
Yeah, so this is what we've talked about so far, all totally automated emails that once you set up the templates and the dates, like they'll just get sent. But I'm sure there are other circumstances that like ad hoc will come up that you might want to send additional emails to your guests for. So if that happens, there's a few ways of sending these bulk emails. If it's specific to a program, so if you just want to, suddenly there's construction on the road to the retreat center and you want to just let everyone know tomorrow, like, don't take this road, it's going to be closed, something like that. You can go to your list of programs and we can go into the program itself. And we can send a bulk email, and it'll get sent to these 11 people that are registered for the program. So you have the option of, removing anybody specific if you want to from this list. And then you can type them out an email here, or you can insert a template if you have a template, and then you can send them that email as a bulk email.
Yeah. And when that's sent out, you're going to be able to see that attached to every guest registration.
Yeah, exactly.
At the very bottom where we just were.
Yeah, and just to be clear, on all these bulk emails or mass emails that get sent out, it is an individual email to each person. It's not like people aren't CC'd on the same big email or anything like that. Yeah, the other way to access bulk emails that can be really useful is going to your registrations area. And so here you can filter on whatever you want, really. A popular one that lots of people find useful is filtering on a balance due. So who has a balance due for their registration that's, coming during certain stay dates? You could specify that. And once you apply your filter, you'll see the list of everybody that owes you money. And at the bottom, you'll see a bulk email everyone in results. So you can take a look at the list of people that, have a balance outstanding, and then you can write them a note to send you some money, maybe send them a payment notification email if you have a template for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all for the bulk emails as well. Pretty straightforward, helpful info.
Totally.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that I wanted to just quickly touch on.
For tracking emails.
For tracking emails. If you go to your reg settings, you can see that there's a mail log there. So if you want to have a quick glance at, okay, which emails have actually been sent today, we can click in that and we can see, oh, there's the email we sent to Olivia when she registered for that test registration that we did. And you can just scroll down here and take a look at all the emails that have been actually sent out. There is a bit of limited functionality with this. It only goes so far. And at the moment, we don't have the ability to filter for certain dates. Again, that is on our roadmap. But for the time being, if you just want to do a quick confirmation of what kind of emails have been sent out today or yesterday or in the last week, you can go to the mail log and confirm that there.